All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kakwadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples to his younger brothers. And peace and blessing salutations to the hopeful elect out there pushing his word and truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopeful elect, the believers, the listeners, whom have came back to the obedience to the scriptures through faith in Yahweh by Shema Shai. All right, and what I want to get into today, is some reading, that I was doing in the book of Proverbs, the 16th chapter. All right, and I came across the 6th verse, and it sparked a lesson. All right, so when you read Proverbs 16:6, it says, "By mercy and truth, iniquity is purged, and by the fear of the Lord, Yahweh by Shema Shai, men depart from evil." So dealing with the first part, of the scriptures, it says by mercy and truth, iniquity is purged. And as the Lord has shown mercy upon us, has opened us up to the understanding of his word, okay, we extend that mercy out, to the rest of our people. Now we know only the elect, okay, are going to receive and appreciate that mercy, all right, and take heed, okay, and by doing that, all right, we're being purged of our iniquities, man. Which Yahweh Shah paid the price, okay, and we're showing appreciation to him, by doing what we do, man. And his mercy has been extended to us, you know, as the men that he's raised up to teach, and we extend that mercy unto the church, okay. Is purging us, man, from iniquity, okay, because we have to be in a certain spirit to teach this word in truth and sincerity. Now you got wicked niggas that can, go teach and, mimic, all right, the prophets, all right, but then you notice that the wisdom is not there. But to sincerely teach this word, that puts us in a particular spirit, man, that's pleasing unto Yahweh Bashem Al Shah, okay? And when you read it, it says, by mercy and truth and teaching the truth. It has to be the true and the correct doctrine, man, by constantly doing these things repetitively, okay? And not only just being a good teacher, man, but mercy and truth outside the scriptures, man, really living this thing. That's mercy and truth as well, okay? Really living this thing and having mercy, okay, off camera, being truthful, okay? Being solid in his word off camera. That's, all right, purging us as well, okay? And it says, and the fear of the Lord, all right, and by the fear of the Lord, men depart from evil. And see, what we see the common theme amongst Jake that go left is there's no fear. All right, you look at these guys, that's moving funny, saying anything, teaching anything, don't have a problem with, grifting the congregation, filthy lucre, just teaching for money and, the gimmicks and, won't even teach the name. The fact that you won't even say the Lord's name, all right, that's a lack of fear. That's a complete lack of fear, okay? And see, men, continue on in these, all right, in this behavior because there's no fear. And they only get worse because why? There's no fear. Evil men shall wax worse and worse. Well, what's missing from those evil men is the fear of Yahweh Bashem Al Shah. So there's nothing that's making them depart from evil, okay? They're just fully subjugated to their desires, man, and their wants, okay? Their covetousness and their, you see, their lust. They're fully given over to it because the fear of the Lord is like a barrier, all right, that separates us from evil, okay? A healthy fear of the Lord is going to go a long way, okay? Because before we can really tap into his wisdom, the fear of the Lord has to be present. That's why you go to, okay, was, I think that's in the book of Psalms, all right? Psalms 111 and 10. It says, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. See, that's the beginning of true wisdom, okay? And not just how to, do a lesson, okay? but the wisdom of how to live, how to be, how to have discernment, how to judge. Well, that wisdom comes from the fear of Yahweh Bashim Al Shai. That's the foundation of the wisdom. Okay, to have the fear of the Lord creates boundaries. Okay, it creates hesitation before we act. You know, you see. So when the fear of the Lord is present, then you can build on that with wisdom. Okay, but a lot of these men, they never come into the fear of the Lord, and they learn how to sound deep, and they know how to edify and make points on particular things. Okay, but true wisdom of how to be, all right, they never come into that. All right, that's why these guys, they don't know what it means to be a good brother, a good leader. Okay, they don't know what it means to serve the Lord in truth and sincerity, man. That's why they serve themselves, man, because they never came into that wisdom and understanding, because fear wasn't there. Fear wasn't there to make them depart from evil. Okay, so they have this surface level wisdom. Okay, but they don't have the true wisdom of how to be in this thing, man. Of conforming to Yahweh. Okay, it says the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. A good understanding have all they that do his commandments. His praise endure forever. Okay? And you read this in the NLT, it said, fear of the Lord is the foundation of true wisdom. Okay? The fear of the Lord, that's the foundation of everything that we have. All right? We should be terrified to teach a false doctrine. Terrified not to call on the name of the Lord. Terrified to treat, all right, brothers a particular way, man. Okay, to abandon the church. You got Jake that disappear, and niggas done quit 2-3 times. It's like, goddamn, we should be terrified to do that, man. Okay, but what you were seeing is men that's operating and they don't have that fear. Okay, that's why they can just teach anything, just make up some, pull a doctrine out their ass and teach it, no fear. Okay, and it says, fear of the Lord is the foundation of true wisdom. All who obey his commands, and right now, those 2 commandments, love the Most High with all thy heart, mind, and soul, and love thy neighbor as thyself. And in there's actions that show, all right, those 2 precepts. That's why Yahweh Shah said on these 2, you can hang the law. Because in loving the Most High with all thy heart, mind, and soul, there's no way we will join the church to this government, 501c3. There's no way we would do that. Okay, join this pure ministry to the corruption of this damn government, man. Okay? There's no way that we will call on Christ and we know the name and we love Yahweh Bashim Al Shah with all our heart, mind, and soul. Okay? There's no way we could teach a false doctrine if we love our neighbors ourselves. Why would we set them up for failure? Okay? You see, so those 2 laws, okay, that Yahweh Shah said, on these hang all the law. By following that mindset, it puts us in good standings with our power, man, and it's making us perfect, man. Okay, because the law is there's a certain spirit that the law is supposed to put us in. Okay, and as we follow these 2 given by Yahweh Shah, is putting us in a certain spirit. Those are 2 broad commandments, and there's a lot that go under that, man. Okay, and as we move and operate in that mindset, all right, through the fear of the Lord, man, that's us. First that fear is the foundation, and then we can grow, okay, in that wisdom. And it says, and all who obey his commandments, listen to this, will grow in wisdom, praise him forever. So a lot of men are not growing in wisdom, okay, because they can't even obey those 2 simple things. Okay, these men, their bank accounts mean more to them than the lives of the people that are following them. Okay, their reputation and how they look and their this YouTube celebrity that they've created, that's more important than how they lead you, man, and what they're leading you to. They don't care about the outcome. Okay, you see, they don't care about how you turn out by them wilding out because there's no fear of the Lord. Okay? And that's why they're not growing in wisdom. They're getting worse, man. You see? So going back, all right, it says the fear of the Lord, is what? The beginning of wisdom. Okay? And then when wisdom begins to deal, when you go to, what is this? Sirach 6. So you go to Sirach chapter 6, okay? Hold on. Okay, Wisdom of Solomon 6. And I'll start at all right, Wisdom of Solomon 6 and 11. Okay. It says, wherefore set your affection upon my words, desire them, and ye shall be instructed. Okay? And see, we don't desire wisdom to look deep on camera. We desire wisdom for the instructions of how we should be. Okay? And we obtain, wisdom to be able to teach others. But it begins with getting this wisdom on for instructions for ourselves on how to be. Okay? And there's a desire for that, man. We desire to read the scriptures and, get new perspectives on how we should move. We desire these things, man, to understand how things work, and the Lord reveal these mysteries because it's a faith booster, man. Okay, we're not here to look deep, man. We're just here, all right, to grow in wisdom and grow in Yahweh Bashim Al-Shah. And the Lord does that according to how he wants. Okay? And it says, she prevented them that desire her, and making herself first known unto them. Whosoever seeketh her early shall have no great travail, for he shall find her sitting at his doors, man. So we beginning with the fear of the Lord, and then as wisdom, as we begin to operate in the fear of the Lord, then wisdom begins to show itself more and more openly to us, man. Okay? Because we have that foundation of the fear of Yahweh Bashim Al-Shah. Okay? It says, whosoever seeketh her early shall have no great travail. All right? For he shall find her sitting at his doors. To think upon her is perfection of wisdom. And whoso watches for her shall quickly be without care, man. Okay? Because this wisdom does make us, free from care because we understand what's important. You see, one thing about wisdom, we understand being popular on YouTube ain't important. Okay? Being praised by people that really don't believe ain't important. Okay? Trying to have all this money and rub shoulders with these people and, the opinion of this world, those things are not important. Even these little relationships and families and, all these things are really not that important, man. Okay? Missing, you miss your auntie birthday party, you had camp, it's not that important. It makes us free from the care of a lot of things when we mature in true wisdom. Okay? You see? And so this wisdom is making us carefree. Okay? Of things that don't matter. All right? It says, for she goeth about seeking such as worthy of her, showing herself favorably unto them in the ways, and meted them in every thought. And meted them in every thought, man. And that's the point. You see, the fear of the Lord, all right, is the foundation to where wisdom can begin to meet us in every thought. Okay, in every thought, wisdom is meeting us, man. To where our decision making is all geared and it's geared off the what? It's measured off what? The fear of the Lord. Before we do anything, before any action, okay, is applied, well, the fear of the Lord meets us, man. Okay? Wisdom meets us in these thoughts. Okay? And it prevents us what? It makes us depart from evil. We can be in the situation, and wisdom will meet us in the thought, and we can know, okay, fall back. Okay? So, yeah, man, just wanted to go into that, Lord will you brothers, all right, and you sisters edify once again. We'll give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kakwadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples to his younger brothers. And peace and blessing salutations, hopefully, Shalom.